Hello and welcome to part 2 of the Apocabox December 2023. In this pack, I have the Takedown Packable fishing pole right here. I'm going to show you how to put that together. As well as I have the saw blade, because I'm going to make a quick bow saw out here for you to see how it's made. Now I have read through Hutch's book, and I'm going to use a couple tips from his book to make this bow saw. So stay tuned and enjoy. Once again, happy 2024. So I have harvested this stick here from a different area. Not allowed to harvest one here. This is a green stick. And Hutch's recommendations is make your bow about 6 inches longer than your blade. So that's what we're going to do. It's right about right here. So I'm going to cut it off right here at this knot. So that should be perfect. And then I can start bending this. I got one with a slight bend already. That's just going to help. I'm going to saw that off. I always have my Baco with me. Make sure that's where I want to go, right there. This is also about 3/4 of an inch, which is recommended. So there it is. You can see that's probably about 7-8 inches, a little bit longer, but I should be able to bend that around. I'm going to actually try another suggestion through Hutch, using a tree to start my bow in this. I've already got, like I said, a natural bow, but I'm going to loosen it up a little bit more, because if I just start forcing this, it can break. So what he talks about is just putting it around a tree like this and bending it. Like this, just leaning back. And just don't go too far, because then it may break on you. But this here will loosen up those fibers. I think I might have it. Okay, let's go to the next step. So I have some cordage here, and I'm going to wrap it around about 1 inch to 1.5 inches down. I'm going to wrap it around there and tie it off. That's because I'm going to split both ends to put the saw blade in, and I don't want it to keep on splitting. So I'm going to tie that off, and I've seen people tie it off first. I've also split my wood and then tied it off, so maybe we'll tie it off first and see how that goes. But like I've said, I have split it and also tied it off. So we'll just tie this off first. This is just bank line, but it's not tarred. So we're going to take some of that that's about 24 inches right there. So I'm going to put it in half and then cut it off here and cut it there. I'll have my 2 pieces. So how I'm going to tie this on is how I would tie on a cordage handle or the sinew around a blade and such. And it's a self-locking kind of knot. I'm not sure what it's called, sorry. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a loop and put one side up like this here. And now when I start wrapping, I'm going to go over top of that. And then I'm going to go right over top of it again, right here, and then I can pull that tight. And then I can just go down through underneath of it, like this here. And when you come to the end, you're going to tuck in this in through this little loop here, like that, and then you can pull this, and that pulls in underneath here and tightens it. So I'm going to do this a little better. I just wanted to show you how it's going to work, but that's how I'm going to do it. And then I just cut off these two tag ends. There's one done. I've got to still trim these up, but actually use the other part to wrap this around so I get a good bite and pull that in. This is super, super tight. I still have to do the other end. So I put that in through here, and now I'm just pulling really tight so that cinches that right in underneath. And now I can take my knife and cut those two tag ends off. So we'll do that right now. Right here, all I've got to do, go like that, go like that. It makes it nice and neat. Same thing as the other side. Right there, just like that. Now we can split it. And I'm going to just set my blade on like this here and tap it down. Now what I want to do is, this is my bow. I want to make sure this is in the center and it's running in line with my bow. And I'll just tap that in. Now, I may need, since this is bowing pretty good, I'll probably need a baton to do this. Because this, most of when I'm tapping it with my hand, it's just flexing. So I'm going to use a baton and split that right down. It should stop right at that cordage. Now I've got a baton. I put that back in there like that. Tap it down. Sure that's in line. And that's split all the way down to the cordage. You can see where the split went, and it is not way down here. So now I've got to get a stick that will fit through this hole, right like that there. So when I put it in, this is going to be your stopper. Now I need one for each side, and I'm going to leave it long so I can actually pull on it a little bit to get it in. So this one right here I'll use for the other side. And if it's a little big, I will take, and which it is, I'm going to have to whittle it down until it fits. A lot of times it doesn't take much. Right like that there. That's going to work. Let's put it together. So this side here, I can just put it in, but I will have to remove this cover. So now I have to be very careful I don't cut myself on this blade. So I'm going to remove the cover first. And of course this is a lot easier when you're not filming, and so you can actually hang on to it. So I'm going to take this, slide this down in like that, grab these, and now I'm able to bring this down. I'll just wiggle it, and you can see how it's going into place, like that. Now I can take the rest of this guard off. It's been fighting me because I'm trying to do it with with one hand. and it does not want to work that way. There we go. So this is what we have right here. Now we've got to bend that and put this in this area. So let's see if we can do her. Okay, let's see if we can do this. I'm going to slowly put pressure on this and pull there at the same time. So gently. Now I've got it in there. All I've got to do is push that forward a little bit more. Oh, we now have a bow saw. Sweet. Right there, I'll bring that up, and then we got to give it a little test for sure. So there it is right there. You can see how that's in there, and that one's in there. So tension is holding that together right now. Now we're going to find something and try this out. Now you can see this is not rotten. It is deadfall, but it is not rotten. Let's see. Nice white sawdust. And just take your time. Don't try to force it. So I just sawed this off to make sure it's nice and solid. It is. So we're going to saw it off again. Oh, get that out of the way. And I want to make sure that I'm not forcing this and letting the blade do the work. Start forcing it, and the bow's just going to bend. And it's going to loosen the blade up. Yeah, it's getting a little tough right there, so I have to let off and just let it go. I'm pushing too hard. Now this is solid birch, and it is a little frozen. One spot right there, as you see, fight me a little bit. There we go. Got past that spot. So there it is right there. You can see the way that was going. It was starting to bind and such, probably because of this knot. But it works. These are meant for a quick, just a quick, simple saw that will work. When I start forcing it, it wants to flex, a little bit. But the buck saw is the upgrade to this quick survival style bow. So it still can do a lot of work out here. This is hardwood, and it's also solid and half frozen. Now if I had a dry pieces of wood for firewood, this here is going to work better for sure. But quick and simple. Okay, that is the bow saw. Being able to just carry a saw blade and make a saw out in the bush. Now what I'm going to do is show you how to put together that packable fishing rod. So this here is your packable fishing pole. This is inspired by Creek when he saw it in a museum. So I have a Phillips screwdriver. Now you need a Phillips screwdriver to assemble this. So it has one screw right here. So I took the screw out of this hole and I'm going to put it in the center. And there's a washer there as well. Now I can attach this to the pole. That's where I took off the reel, and this screw is going to go right back in there. And don't put your hand directly in the back in case the screw does go through. It hasn't on me. I put it together a couple times, but it could. In here, they have a little area that is supposed to be for storage. Just take that out and I'll show you. Right there. It's supposed to be for some sinkers and so on, hooks and so on. So it's just a little storage area covered by this piece of wood. Now, our pole. I'm going to take this off. I've got to be careful I don't lose these screws. One there and one in the back. Okay, I've got both screws. Now, I want to turn this around and put the screws through these two holes after I pick up my pole. Now I'm going to set this right over top of those two holes, and I'm going to just snug these up so I don't split this piece of oak. It looks like oak to me anyhow. So I'm just going to snug it up because I do not want to crack it. There it is, and I've got some line on here just to show you what it looks like if you had a fish on. So I'll put the line on right there like this, and then if you had a fish, it's going to be going like that. And that actually has a lot of, that worked pretty decent. That would pull in some smelt, some trout and such. Now, hand lining, I've done since I was a kid. Over the side of the boat, in the Atlantic Ocean, I was hand lining. I've hand lined, brook trout fishing and so on. So this here is pretty cool to me. So I'd put one finger on the line like this, and then you're going to feel them, just feel the littlest bite, and then you can pinch it, snap it, and then just reel it in by wrapping it around this reel. So this here is a pretty neat fishing pole. I like the design. Now, you do have to have some way to take out Phillip head screws. So that could be a multi-tool, a little screwdriver, and so on. But what I did love is this. They put a metal eye through here. So that's going to stop your line from just getting caught in the wood. So, very cool. This here is a pretty neat little fishing pole, and you can put it right in your pack. So that is this video and the Apocabox December 2023 builds. Now, I was very excited. Once I got to see this stuff and start reading about it and such, I got excited about it. This, I may make the handle a little different for myself, but we shall see. I might make it a little bit different for myself. Maybe move this up a little bit so I can hang on to in there or something. But make it your own. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed part 2. Take care. All the best.